Hello everyone, it's Pink Giraffe, and I'm here with a lovely team of Temtem that I really love. Now, just a forewarning that this audio is recorded after the match, but this was a game that I had to highlight, so you will see some minor editing to reduce the waiting time. So let's start. I wanted to go Babawa, which is why I banned Nintrastil, they're only toxic, and I picked Adoroboros because I have Handcuffs Energy Manipulation, so I can decide to trap with the first turn. I was expecting them to pick something like Shuine or Piggypack to help stack Valash, but they picked Saku, so I did end up banning Piggypack. On my end then, I picked Loatle and Valash and Waspeen and keeping Gorong out because Gorong is weak to Crystal, and I knew Valash is going to be one of the key opponents. So let the match begin. Now, turn 1 is a pivotal turn. I know Valash will Madness buff, so I just Water Cutting Lily it. Now with Adoros I decide to go for a trap on Saku. So I use the energy manipulation. I do have Synergy Master, it's not going to do a lot of damage. I do have a tankier Adoroboros, but I do trap it, and as I expect, Valash does the Madness buff. We damage, Saku uses Life Set. Now, because of Kaleidoscope, Valash gets the 4 regen. So we do now damage the Valash with Water Cutting Lily, and we do considerable damage. Now, here, I Water Cutting Lily again, that's no question, Babawa can stand it, but I'm running between, do I Energy Manip Valash or do I Sacrifice? And I use Sacrifice to buff the Babawa, because I love Babawa. And I'm like, I wanted to take less damage, eventually, from Valash. Unfortunately, Valash went for Quartz Shield, so combined with the heal from Scavenger, Valash is in a really good spot now, and Saku uses Sedative Rain to further heal Valash. So now, I do have a sacrifice on Babawa, but Valash has Quartz Shield, Madness buff, 2 regen, and it's pretty much a very strong setup. I take out my own Valash because I don't want to sacrifice my other 2 tems because I see a future, and I just double up quickly with Laundry and Base Jump. Now they go for Crystal Dust, which surprised me. Base Jump still does some damage. Laundry, although it's good efficiency, its main purpose is to remove the regen. Laundry is very effective in these scenarios, and Saku instead goes with a Toxic Spore, which is a passive damage regardless of my tankiness. Now again, I just want to keep doing damage on Valash. They Crystal Dust again, so I used Crystal Bite, and so they first Life on Sap, of course. We see the 4 regen there, and now we use Water Cutting Lily. Now the issue here obviously is Valash will either kill our Valash and that Scavenger, or they will swap out, and I want to reduce the chance that they get Scavenger heals, right? So what I do is I swap myself out, and they Crystal Dust the Waspeen. Now they do Toxic Spores the Babawa. I don't go for damage because I don't want to overexert on Babawa, and the Withdrawal Rest removes the Toxic, heals me, and it gives me the Wax Bath plus Special Defense. In the meantime, we're still building blocks on Babawa. This is key. Building blocks Babawa, we love that. So now we say, okay, it's time to attack Valash. They will probably swap out now, so we double the spot anyway, and they pick out Gorong with Mom's Lunch, and it does not exhaust me enough to overexert, but regardless, it can withstand damage here. And one thing that I was predicting is a potential Bark Shield from Saku, where the defense buffs could really mess this up. Now we can see they have a very stally team. Buff Valash, they're gonna buff Gorong. There's very little option for me, but I do think it's the perfect time to bring in Loatle because it's not in danger. Unless, like, when there's a Valash, it's going to be in danger, so Loatle now or never. We do see a block on Gorong, so it's buffing defense, it's getting the heal from the Lifeful Sap. So, you know, Waspeen's Swarmade is not really gonna do much. It is going to heal Waspeen very slightly, but that little bit of damage, we still have, like, there's no way we can kill Saku, or, you know, Saku is like very hard to kill at this point. I know it has Sanative Rain, there's Piraniant in the back, so I decide to, like, okay, we should focus Saku ASAP. So we're gonna use Faraday Cage. And one other thing that I was keeping in mind is the Piraniant, right? Piraniant usually runs Purgation, and this is a way to remove Doom. Now, my Loatle is Seppuku, so without the destruction, I have a way of dooming that. But if they're gonna have Piraniant, which has now Purgation out of hold, we can't really use that. So I'm like, okay, switch out of the defensive mindset, let's go offensive. Let's switch Babawa. And we're going to penance it. Now, this is miraculous because Penance does so much buffs. It's +4/+4. Now, sure, it's not going to be insane against a buffed team, but it's going to be useful, hopefully. The Piraniant uses Sanative Rain. The isolation prevents the synergy, so we still get a decent heal. And here our focus is kill Piraniant. It has Purgation. Just if we remove Purgation, we can rely on Doom. Now they do swap Piraniant out. It's not too surprising, right? And they go into Gorong. Yeah, the Gorong activates Mom's Lunge, which is, you know, takes us a lot of stamina, but we still don't overexert. It uses a lot of stamina on Water Cutting Lily as well. It does good, decent damage with the Penance buff, but it's still nowhere near enough, right? So, now Babawa is Toxicated. Despite having building blocks, we're like, okay, Babawa, stay poisoned, go out. We're gonna switch to Valash, which is very, very low health. It's a perfect sacrifice for this Doom. Now, yes, Babawa can have Drool and remove the Doom, but still takes damage, right? So we're going to apply the Seppuku Doom with Auto Destruction here. It's a lovely animation. Valash was very low, so it does die. We do both enemies for 2 turns. Gorong uses block, increasing its defense further. And Saku uses Lifeful Sap, which means Gorong can apply a status to remove that. So I only am down to 2 tems. This is very dangerous territory for us. So we need them to not use Purgation. Now I check the items because I'm like, if they switch Mom's Lunge, the Mom's Lunge will trigger Gorong off. I'm like, okay, it's fine. They cannot use Mom's Lunge. So I will rest on Babawa. No need to do damage if they're going to die by Doom. And get the heal off, I get the Wax Bath off. So let's heal. But to my surprise, Gorong uses Stare, which one reduces my defense. The chain heal, okay, great, because like Saku's dead anyway. But Gorong applies Stare means that they have alert and they push Doom off. So yay, we get Saku killed. So we're down from 2v5 to 2v4. But now we still have a live Gorong with 2 regen. So here I go for Swarmade to remove the regen rather than applying Laundry, which we still could. But I want to focus Valash because of the Scavenger buff. But Valash uses Quartz Shield, so it's like, hey, I wanna be tankier. Gorong uses Helicopter Kick with times 2 effectiveness. On a stared Waspeen, it still does good damage. Water Cutting Lily does a decent amount of damage as well. Swarmade is for the 10%, it will heal both Waspeen and Babawa and remove the regen, which we planned, right? Now, where do we go from here? I think it's evident that Valash will swap, and there's Shuine and Piraniant in the back, so Water Cutting Lily will do damage. Remember, Babawa has penance on it. And now it's stacking building blocks, there's no swapping out, so it's like building blocks all the time. Now Gorong uses another Helicopter Kick, Waspeen's down to half health. The Water Cutting Lily almost kills Piraniant, but the Crystal Bite does take it down. So we're like, okay, Piraniant down, no Revitalize, no Sanative Rain, no Purgation. That's good. This is going well. Now here, we have a bit of trick, like do we Water Cutting Lily and overexert? No, let's not do that, right? So I go for a rest on Babawa, and I go for Generator 5 for our little stamina. We don't really have much hope with Waspeen at this point. Unfortunately, Shuine does Water Cannon, which is good damage. So now, yes, we do get a Wex Path and withdrawal on Babawa, but we know Waspeen is pretty much dead, and Valash will either get a Scavenger or switch. So we see the Crystal Spikes onto Waspeen, it is enough to kill. Valash gets the Scavenger buff, Shuine did double up just in case, it doesn't really do damage to us, so it's not really scary. But our Water Cutting Lily does not do enough damage after the Scavenger. Now, of course Valash has a couple of Quartz Shield buffs, so it's not really going to die that easily despite our penance. Now they do swap it, which kind of was a possibility, right? So what I was concerned here is the possibility for Shuine to Quartz Shield itself. Luckily, they Quartz Shielded Gorong, so we know Shuine is not buffed. So I did do rest here, which works perfectly with the mom's lunge, because I don't overexert. So now I'm like, okay, it's time to attack the Shuine slot. It's either that killing Valash or it's killing Shuine. So we just Water Cutting Lily the Shuine, and lo and behold, it does enough to kill. That's penance for you, plus 4 attack. Damn, not buffing Shuine meant it's going to die. Now we're from 1v3 to 1v2, with Valash very low. Valash just tried to Quartz Shield itself. Gorong is now on its stair spree, so I'm like, okay, it's going to lower our defense a lot. So I'm just going straight up using Laundry to kill Valash before it does a lot of damage to me. We do overexert here, but now we're down to a 1v1. Babawa versus Gorong. Now Gorong has all the 6 defense buffs. It now keeps applying stare on us. We have to rest a bit for stamina, but we do also heal, right? So we are building the building blocks, which is great. We assume that, well, no, Gorong is not tireless, it's seismic. Which actually I'm only realizing now after the game. But anyways, it uses Helicopter Kick, I rest, it healed me back up, I'm like, okay, I'm in a good spot. But regardless, I'm gonna damage. It uses Stare, it's turn 22. There's only 25 turns, right, in the game. So we're gonna use Laundry. Like, I will still try to kill this before the game ends, I don't know if I can. But I think it's a very guaranteed win at this point, because it's not doing damage to me. It can lower my defense, but it does not have a strong attack. I mean, we also the Helicopter Kick on Waspeen. In fact, now we just do good damage. It tries to Helicopter Kick again. We just rest. We just heal all the damage back up, despite all the stairs it put into us. So we were scared of Gorong for no reason. And I thank you for watching. It's been Pink Giraffe. now renamed on Temtem as well. And I wish you all a lovely day. Bye bye.